Hey guys, now this is probably a weird kind of video because I'm actually commentating over gameplay. But as you probably guessed from the title of the video, I'm going to talk about Records of Ragnarok because it released today. I was really hyped about it because I've read the manga and when it was only like 3 chapters when I found it. But when I found out the anime was coming out a while ago, I'd say, can't remember, but it was a while, like a long time ago, like when they first put out the trailer ages ago. I think like last yearish, kind of. Um, I was hyped. I was stoked, and you may ask, am I going to be talking about like every other YouTuber is talking about? Are they going to complain about Adam versus Zeus? Unfortunately, yes, but I'm also going to give some context onto why, like, people like myself and others who read the manga, to you people who don't read manga, would understand in a way where it's just like, oh, okay, that's understandable. That's why so many people ranting about it or are distasteful or feel like it's just been hasn't done justice. So my first explanation is the MCU, Marvel movies. Marvel promotes their comics by their movies because movies get a mass majority of people to watch, okay? They did amazing with all the Iron Man movies leading up to the Avengers movies, the other Incredible Hulk movie, and shit like that. Like, they did an amazing job. Those movies, 10 out of 10, smack, right? And then the actual Avenger movie that it led up to, amazing. Like a masterpiece, right? But they do that as it's like a way where they kind of promote, their comics. Like it's even though it might not be an easy way to promote comics, you can just have cartoon shit like that. But they take what has happened in the comics, or what was happening in the comics like way back when, and they take that and they put it into a movie. And then there's going to be like a lot of Marvel fans or people who don't know who Marvel is, where it's like, oh wow, this Iron Man movie looks kind of like good, right? So they go into the theaters and they watch it and they get hooked because Marvel movies are like top tier, like the 10 out of 10, and that's how they're like, oh, I might get into the comics now. I might you know read read it, and it's the same thing for manga, but unlike comics, reading manga is a lot more niche. So you have to really do the anime good, because if the anime isn't good, then no one's really gonna read the manga, because they think, oh well, the anime is trash, the manga must be trash. But unlike MCU, even if the movie isn't really that good, mediocre at best, there could be people like, oh well, I gave it a try, whereas mine not really going to get into the comics. Or there could be, oh, they might have got some stuff wrong in the movie, I'll read the comics to see what was actually going on. And then they still get people at the end of the day who read a comic. Might be cut by half, but it's still people. But with anime, you have to get it perfect. You have to get the animation perfect, voice acting, fights go into the animation. But like if there's fights or important moments or emotional moments, you have to get that bang on, because you can't mess that up, because this is the chance the manga has. Like, it's already going big enough in a way where it's getting an anime adaptation. I can't even say that word. I feel like Yeah, animate. It's origin animated. I can't English today. It's origin animated, right? So it's like it's still a big thing, but even then, it's like a good majority of it people just don't know about it, and more people would watch the anime than read manga. And to get people to read the manga, you need the anime, right? Like the Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is amazing. That's getting an anime soon, made by Mappa. But the people who made the studio, like when I looked into the studio, who are making records for Ragnarok, I was kind of concerned because it says the majority of the time they need help animating, right? I was like, okay, like, I don't mind if they get help, but like, are they sure they want to do it on their own? If they're positive, then this has to be like actually good. And then it releases the why did I say Poseidon first? Fallen Lobu, okay, mediocre. Koji and like Poseidon, it's okay. Like really could, like both of those fights could be bad, but then you get to Zeus versus Adam. That I I can't stress enough how perfect that had to be. Like that is the main emotion of the manga. The thing that gets you really hooked is that fight. Like no other fight really gets you hooked as Adam versus Zeus, the father of gods versus the father of humanity. Like the stakes are high. Humans already like lost one. Spoilers if you haven't watched the manga. Watched the manga already, anime. I haven't read the manga or watched the anime. I'd rather you read the manga though. Don't watch the anime. But the stakes are high. Humans have already lost one. 4 beat Robu. Hands down. Decimated. He put up a good fight. He gave 4 run for his money, but it decimated. And then they bring out the big guns. They bring out Adam versus Zeus, who kind of shouldn't have been there, but he decided to be like, you know, Shiva, sit down, fuck off. You know, basically that, right? But it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It just had to be perfect. It's your main vocal point, the main part that you need to like actually sell the anime to people. That's the main thing that you needed to get right. Like, and they didn't. They butchered it. It's trash. They did a slideshow midway through. A slideshow. You know what else did? Not even a slideshow. Season 2 of Promised Neverlands. They went through a whole arc. You want to know how they went through a whole arc? They showed one picture of them walking. That was, I can't remember what arc that was, but it was a big arc of how they got to where they were when season 2 starts. They skipped a whole arc. A whole arc that would have been interesting, fun to watch, had suspense. They skipped a whole arc with one picture. One. And that was it. That's the kind of shit that Record of Ragnarok does. But the worst part, they butchered the selling, I want to say this again, the selling point of the anime. That will get people into the manga. Like, I don't know, like, if you really care about shit like that. Like, the majority of the time, it's just fighting. There's story, but there's no, the main focal point is fighting, right? And how are you gonna have fucking fighting, such trash animation, if the animation isn't fucking god tier to make up for like the lack of story which is there, which they do give story, they give backstory. There's a overarching plot of like stuff happening in the background with like in the manga now. Like, I'm not spoiling anything, right? There's a real like arcing story in the background that's going on, which you haven't shown in the anime because it doesn't get shown until later, of like what's really going on behind the scenes, the viewpoints of the gods, viewpoints of the humans, viewpoints of the Valkyries, right? But the animation's just garbage for an anime that's primarily fighting. Like, I don't know how to stress this enough. It's like, a good example would be Naruto, right? You know, you got people who read the manga, right? They were hyped for Madara. Madara was, you know, people were talking about Madara, he's a beast, right? Madara finally comes in, like, wrecks, like, thousands of ninjas, single-handedly, okay? And Naruto isn't primary fighting, that's fighting and story, but mostly the story. But the animation they use, like using his Sharingans, ninjutsus, fucking everything he did looked perfect, looked amazing, looked fantastic, right? But that doesn't compare to like something that is, in my opinion, something that's even more hype than Madara, Adam versus Zeus. Because, I don't know, this is just my opinion, and probably a lot of other people's as well. I don't know, I've always seen like just one or two videos, so I didn't want to say too much of what they were saying, but, because after I stopped watching after the Adam fight, because I was like, I can't, like, they just ruined it. Like, I just can't watch this garbage anymore. And after I went, hey, it's like, other people feel this way, which they are. And no one really, like, explained, like, well, they explained, but they didn't explain, like, why people, like, who read the manga are upset. So I gave you the example with the MCU, but anyways, I digress. Like, in my opinion, like, Adam versus Zeus, it's more hype than any Dragon Ball fight, any fight Goku's been in, any fight Asta's been in Black Clover, any fight that Natsu's been in Fairy Tail. You name any fight in manga and anime that's more, that people made a big fuss over. When people, if you go onto the trailer, right, what they made ages ago with the real trailer, you see that people, they don't talk about anything else other than Adam and Zeus, because that's the thing, it's their main focal point. Everybody who read the manga knows that has to be the main focal point to sell the anime, to sell it to people, because all your fights are amazing, but then you have Adam and Zeus, which is on a different level with the emotion. When Adam's doing his final stand before he dies, like, when you're reading it, you can feel the punches, you can feel the emotion, you can feel when he says, what reason does a father need to protect his children? It hits deep. You can feel it. When you're reading it, you can feel it. But you can't really feel it in the anime. Because voice action's okay, mediocre at best, and the animation's, like I said, like, maybe like every other YouTuber said as well, it's trash. Like, it's just not there. It's just, why? It's like, feels incomplete. But it's like, what? Like, you look at it and you think, this is the best, this is what they count as the best of the best animation. This is what they see as top tier. If a season 2 is ever made, I don't want the same studio. I want Mappa. I want the people who animated Fate. I don't want this trash studio to ever animate anime ever again, because they just ruined it. They ruined any new readers like actually reading it. Because like I said, this isn't like with movies and the MCU. If the anime's trash, no one's going to read the manga. And you're lucky if people do read the manga if the anime is trash. Because people, unlike MCU movies or superhero movies or comic book movies, like anime, like I said, is the only reason people are going to read the manga. Or even get into the manga remotely. Like, that's it. But that's enough ranting for me today. Other video will be out tomorrow of me getting banged by Molded in Resident Evil 7. Peace out, guys. Love you all.